Hello everybody, Jeremy here, and welcome to a review of the LEGO Treehouse 2013 edition. This is set number 31010, and it has 356 pieces. It retails for $29.99 here in the United States. And of course, if you were to get at Toys R Us, you'll be paying just a little bit more. And this is part of the LEGO Creator line, which means you can build one of 3 models in this set. The main one, of course, being the treehouse, but you can also tear it down and you can build a lakeside hut or a 2-story farmyard barn. And depending on which one you want to build, the difficulty level shifts. So the treehouse is the most advanced build out of all of them. And this goes right along with the summer house that was also released this summer, that I did a review on that one not too long ago. And I figured, since those two were the only 2 LEGO Creator house-like sets coming out this summer, why not review both of them? I got both of them, so let's check out the treehouse now, and we'll start with the one minifigure. And here's a look at the one and only minifigure you get with this set. It is a little boy who also happens to be carrying a walkie-talkie. So, of course, little boys in their tree houses, as I would know, walkie-talkies are always awesome. And you kind of have to have them. It's tree house etiquette, really. And then when you flip them over to the back, you see it's the plainest printing ever. Just a plain blue shirt and plain gray pants. He also has no printing on the back of his head, so you just get the classic one-sided LEGO smiley face. The cool thing about the hat is that it does come off, and depending on what era you want to depict, you can put the hat on him in a variety of different ways, as if it were like the 1990s, the late 90s into early 2000s. And the ever so classic depiction of a little boy wearing a slightly curved hat because he saw it on TV and he thinks it's awesome. And accompanying the little boy is a cool little micro build of a dog. You can see it's a white and black dog, but the little blue brick there acts as his collar, and the black piece on the back that's sort of raised a little bit on the second stud, that acts as his tail. It's a really cool little micro build. This is how he looks from the front. And that little piece up top, it helps simulate his ears. So this is a very easy and a very creative way to make a dog if that's what you want to add to your LEGO community. And last but not least is a micro build of a wagon. This is also something that's very simple yet very neat. You see, like, here are the wheels here on the bottom that you can just pull this and go along whatever path you want. Cool little handle here, and on the inside of this wagon, it's a pizza. So, you know, I know it would probably be more sanitary if you put a box in there with the pizza on the inside, but whatever. This kid is taking his pizza up to his private treehouse. He doesn't care if hair and bugs and all that stuff gets into it. He's a little boy. He's got to play rough. He's playing in the dirt, going to eat some dirt. He'll be fine. So before we look at the set in more detail, let me just give you a top-down view of it. Starting at the very top, and we are going to make our way down to the green base plate there. You can see some of the pebbles right there and the water, and let's just get a closer look at that. So there are some pretty neat small details on the bottom of this set, starting with the large green base plate. And on the base plate, you'll see there are some single piece sort of gray square pieces, and there are some lighter gray circular pieces. And these act as walkways, like stepping stones, to go around the treehouse, so the kid just won't be walking on grass all the time. And then you also have these red pieces here and these yellow pieces here, which act as flowers. So just to add a little bit more foliage to the scene. And then over on this side here, it's actually a secret compartment, and there is a treasure map on the inside. Yep, let's take a look at that a little more closely. It's a treasure map to who knows where, but we do know that X marks the spot right there, and it goes into the little tiny hidden compartment back there, at which point you can just pop it back inside, close it up, and it's hidden. And then here on the left side of the build, see, this is where all the water is. You have a frog there, some little, I guess maybe those can be lily pads or just some type of flower type thing that's currently growing in the water. And then you also have this bucket here, which is attached to a winch that is right up here. So what you do is you turn this little mechanism here, and here's the string that it comes with, and when you twist it counterclockwise, see that the little bucket raises up, and it totally just fell. It does that sometimes because it's not, well, let me just turn that around. See, like, that's the hook that this goes on to. And since it's not gripping it on across the entire bar, that's why it keeps falling like that. So let's just bring that down a little bit more, see if we can get it hanging like that, and then it should be okay. So we should be able to bring that up there, and then on the inside of these, of the little barrel, you can put some little extra pieces in there. So I had that extra piece, I had this extra piece, and then I had this little extra piece. You can put whatever you want in there, but I guess if you kind of want it to simulate water, then you can just dump these into the bucket, and you've got your water right there. Now, speaking of dumping water on people, if we turn it around on this side here, you can also see that there is a little mechanism thingy right here that's also kind of filled with water. So when you turn it, these little pieces also fall out. These clear blue pieces that, you know, I guess you could simulate people trying to come down and invade the treehouse, and then once they get under there, you dump water on them. It's a nice little practical joke. And then one of the other neat little features about this set is this ladder. This ladder does not just stay down like this. You can actually move this ladder up, and it's all being held by this right here. So while the ladder is down, you know, it's totally fine. But once we move this up like this, this piece here holds it in place. So we pull that back, we lift that up, we let it go, and then we can fold this up like that and move this directly under it. So you can see that right there. That piece is keeping the ladder from falling. And then once we pull it out again, we are free to let the ladder down. So I think that's a really neat little feature. So let's look at the top and see what's next to the actual house portion of the treehouse. So up on the main platform here is nothing too spectacular. You just have some beige pieces, and then you have some green pieces here because it is a treehouse. So I'm imagining that it's simulating parts of the tree that are still living, the ones that have been gutted out in order to place the treehouse there. If we can turn it over to this side, you can see that's the winch right here that you turn to bring up the bucket, and there is a little telescope right there, and it actually works out quite nice for the little boy. Let me take his walkie-talkie out, because when you place him right here, it's actually pretty cool because his short legs kind of puts him directly at the eye level of the telescope. So that's a really good in, you know, simulating him looking out from his telescope there. And then as we continue to turn, and we can see the inside of the treehouse, and you know, there's really not a whole lot going on in there at all. You can see that there is a bed that's made up of a couple of these blue pieces and a couple of the sloped red pieces to simulate the pillow, and then there's also a space right up here, which on the box and everything, the boy is up here. Well, maybe not that far back. He's like right here, and he's just hanging out right there. So there's nothing, no micro builds or anything hanging out up there. It's just another level for you to mess around with. And of course, this is Lego, so you can always put other things in there if you want. And also, just so we won't miss it, there is the flag. Flag signifying the boy's freedom. That's his treehouse, and darn it, respect it. The house portion of the treehouse can also be removed. It's only attached by a couple of these studs here, so you can easily just take it off and pop it right back on with no fuss at all. Now, one of the things I like about the treehouse is the actual tree part itself. And I really like Lego trees, you know, because it can really bring a different aesthetic to the entire set and make it look so much cooler. So I just want to go around and show the actual tree-ness of this set. So you can see this is a portion of the tree with this different simulated leaves and whatnot and the bark, and it goes all the way down to the bottom there, and then we can just turn it around, see more of the tree-ness, how the trunks at the bottom where they end up. And the use of the beige and the dark brown pieces, you know, it really contrasts well with the green and the red of the actual treehouse, and I think that looks really cool in the end. So there you have it. That is a look at the Summer 2013 Lego Treehouse, the actual treehouse model, not the barn and not the other house that you can build with this, because frankly I think that the treehouse looks the best out of all three of those builds. And typically the primary build that they show on the box prominently is usually the better design of the three. It is the most intermediate build, but overall, you know, it's not difficult to build. Just pay attention and you should be fine. Not that many pieces, believe, what did I say, 356, something like that. So you know, I like this set because, well, for a couple reasons. I like Legos that are designed to look like houses. I like these structures like that. So that's why I really like the Lego Family House. I like the more model-y look of Legos, and besides, even as a kid, who didn't want a tree house? I remember I really wanted a tree house. Didn't really have the know-how to actually build one, but darn it, you better believe at one point an attempt was made to get me a tree house. So like I said, when I was looking over it, I still like the way how, you know, the tree is still shown to be a tree. They didn't have to add all of the green pieces and leaves and things like that, but it really helps to contrast all these different colors, you know. So I like the brown, I like how it goes along with the green, I like how that goes along with the red. Not too much red, but just enough red. I like the little micro build on the dog too. Oh my god, his head came off. But yeah, I like the dog micro build. You know, that's really cool. You know, the wagon is a nice touch, and the ladder too, you know, with the little mechanism right there that keeps the ladder from falling down once you tilt it up. You know, nice feature as well. You know, so this is something that I definitely see myself, even as an adult, just putting it on a shelf next to some more Lego builds of houses, and you know, like a modular or something like that, because it really is nice to look at. So once again, this set is $29.99, and you can get it from, you know, typical retailers like Walmart or Target, or even the Lego store for $29.99. And if you get it from Toys R Us, it'll be a little bit more expensive, but not that much more expensive. I believe they charge like $32.99 for the Treehouse there. So get it cheap however you want. I like this set. I like tree houses. I like what Lego did with it, and it is a buy for me. So until next time, this is Jeremy, and I'll see you next time.